For that same organization I've been discussing, let's say my solution to propose to this organization would be that they should create an advertisement campaign to tell the community about how this organization rescues more than just small dogs. That's something I feel is manageable, it's something we can tackle, and it's something that I feel confident I can present and propose a good idea for, a good plan. So this is something I'm feeling good about. I think it's going to be useful for them. I think they're going to respond well to it, and I think that's something that's reasonable for them to say yes to. It's not way out there. It's not extreme. It's not expensive. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but I think it is going to have a really good return on their investment. And I have a little bit of experience creating advertisement campaigns. So I feel like, hey, even if I'm not a professional in that field, I feel like I can at least tell them this is what I think would work best for you right now to engage a digital audience about this. So if I were thinking about alternative solutions to that, they don't have to be terrible. They don't have to be, ridiculous. They can be good ideas that sound reasonable as well, and they might have an actual impact on the organization and the community still. However, I don't feel they're going to be as impactful as my idea. So while I think that these are all good alternatives, I don't think that they're our first choice. Or maybe we can get to those steps later, but first we have to establish something, our first step, our big foundation that we have to lay. So if I were considering alternative solutions to my idea, I could say, another great idea might be to consider changing the name of the organization. Well, this could work. It's going to be an expensive process, and the people who have come to rely on our organization's name, or perhaps put a lot of stock in that name, perhaps there's a lot of credibility behind that, they trust us, we might lose those people, or it might be a little confusing, or there might be things out there on the internet that still say the old name and we forgot to change things around, or we're going to have to rename all the websites and social media accounts. These are very difficult things to do. Very time-consuming, annoying, and not even guaranteed, especially if you're changing names on places like Facebook. They don't really like that. So, unfortunately, these are things I have personal experience with trying. Or we could also say another great idea could be that we reach out directly to the community and ask them to do outreach and tell people about the organization. This is a great idea. However, we can't really rely on them. It's just in good faith. We're just hoping they're going to do a good job with it. Maybe they can't really tell enough people or the right people about these changes or the facts around the organization that we want them to know. So while this helps, it's not going to be as widespread as we'd like it to be. It's not going to have as big of an impact as we'd hope for. It could help, though. We could still ask them to do that. Or we could also say, how about we ask our volunteers and staff to explain this to potential adopters? This is a great idea because we're explaining to them, I know you're here, you're interested, or you're at least, testing the waters, but did you know that we also have cats? Are you interested in cats, or do you know anyone that wants a cat? So this is useful. It still helps enlighten the community, but again, it's not as widespread as we'd hope for, and they're already in the door at this point. So while this is helpful for these people who are coming in the door, we want to get more people coming in the first place for these things. So maybe they stay away from our organization because they think it's only small dogs. You know what? I want a big dog, or I'm looking for a cat. So that might keep them away. So we're trying to get them in the door. So these are some potential alternatives that we could go for.